So tonight I have the most disgusting job to have to sit here and expose one of the grossest scammers. We have already done part one of these things. Tonight we've got some additional details that you are not going to believe on this fraudster and disgusting individual, Peter Davies of Jigsaw. It is with my great displeasure, we'll be starting this here this evening.
Before the evidence. Special note, this information is for educational and public service announcement purposes only. This has absolutely zero malicious intent or malice and is provided as is with the latest facts and evidence we have at the time of release of this video content. This may not be used to harass, etc. We only hope that the public consumer looking for truthful information to make an informed purchasing decision in their trading education has accurate details to assess their personal choice when choosing to participate in various related programs.
All right, so this one gets really personal with me here tonight. This one, I have seen a lot of things in our trading industry. You guys have seen me do exposures on the scammers that are out there, just, you know, helping the public to find the wheat from the chaff. But sometimes things get way too personal. I don't want to say sometimes. It acts like, oh, it should be a, you know, oh, on occasion this is going to occur. Oh, it's accidental almost. But no, this was this is some of the most purposeful and disturbing things that I'm going to show you here this evening. In the previous video, if you guys missed out on that one, you might want to go back and watch that one. You can actually hear the audio conversation with Peter Davies as he is hiring a hitman to attack myself, my family, and my friends. This is what's really disturbing about these individuals is when they don't believe they can come after you, they will find personal friends of yours to go after. This literally sounds like some craziness off of Netflix or some kind of mob boss ridiculousness. And some of these guys, I think particularly with Pete and his buddies here that you guys are going to get introduced here this evening, if you did not watch the other videos, that I actually do believe that they do think that they are in some kind of mobster gang movie and that they need to, you know, have their own mugshots put online for the world to see. So, you know, again, the authorities have certain reach and sometimes you need to go to the court of public opinion here this evening. Let's get into some of those facts. All right, so my questions come to how bad does your software have to be when you have to go to the links that you're about to see? So if you are a Jigsaw fan or you're questioning whether or not you should be using Jigsaw, again, like you can try to use the product. You know, my personal opinion is it's garbage. It doesn't even have a trial time because they probably know that if you actually used it during a trial window that you would hate it. But there are a lot of people promoting it because Jigsaw pays 30% affiliates. So if you are hearing it from somebody else, oh, it's good, be careful, go check on that. 30% affiliate for them. So just be checking on that. Let's get into these scenarios here. They are so afraid of AlgoBox, apparently, that they need to come after Vinny Emini. They're, again, when their product is shown side by side with ours, they apparently are, I don't know, they just, why can't they just go into normal competitions? Why don't they want to just go into normal business competition, I guess, or trading competition, for crying out loud? Pete's track record is absolutely terrible. He blew his accounts when he was trying to do it live in front of people. He hired two guys, came in, and they blew their accounts right in front of everybody too. Like, again, I don't know how these companies stay in business, honestly, or how they do this with a straight face. But then on top of that, watch this. Okay, without further ado, this is, I almost hesitate to get into this because some of this stuff is so disgusting and disturbing for me to have to relive again going through this. Just know that this is hard for me as I go through this. These individuals, the stuff that they have done to my family, I have images in my head that I cannot remove because they have made pedophile images of my children and sent them to me. It's extremely disturbing. Obviously, I cannot show those online here. I cannot distribute these, or if anybody's asking, I can't send those around. These were sent to the police, the authorities, my legal team, and to people that hopefully can do something about these individuals, because I'm pretty much helpless to these individuals that continue to harass me even right now, even after they have been caught. And I thought going out there and shoving this in their face that they would stop, but they are not. So we are going to go to every length in legal that we can, but I just need to preface this with what you are going to see in here is going to be absolutely disturbing. Make sure your kids are in another room, etc., for some of the stuff that's going to come in this conversation. All right, so let's start here. This is between three individuals. Jigsaw had hired two thugs, one of them a hacker, one of them to do physical assault. Pete likes to find the scum of the earth, and some people that are unfortunate souls, such as this guy named Josh, who just finds the end of his rope and is just trying to desperately do something. Again, he ends up being, turns to be a good dude at the end. You know, he was told a whole lot of things and was going out there for money to do this stuff, but we were able to get Josh to flip on them and end up working with us afterwards to work the rest of the sting operation, which is how we came into having the information that we have here now. So this conversation is between Jigsaw, Peter Davies, and C. Tabullo. This is Cristiano Tabullo, a software hacker, DDoSer, attacker. Be careful if you've got iOS and using any of that jailbreak app stuff. He is into that. We'll show some of that here this evening. And let's go in. So they're doing a little meetup here and saying, hi, this is, introduce you to Josh. Who is Josh? That is a guy that they found on a website called Get Big. Now, Get Big is a place where you can find all kinds of nefarious things, as you might imagine. Go to getbig.com if you want to check out that forum. And we'll just say, you know, it's just not pretty. But you could go here and basically hire yourself a hitman if you want. These are the types of people that hang out there. And then, you know, I'm sure there's some positive things they do there, but this is how Jigsaw came to be in contact with a man named Josh. Now, so Chris, he's talking to Chris here, C. Tabullo. Josh is an interesting individual who doesn't have a line in the sand when it comes to effing with people that upset him. Josh, Chris is an interesting individual who my wife thinks is scary because of his talents. Now, he's going to reiterate this several times. You know, when your wife knows that the people that you're hanging out with are disgusting and disturbing, you know, this should be something that you might want to raise an eyebrow to. So the plan is to go after Vinny, with Josh doing what he's done before, aka physical assault type of stuff. But he's seen your ideas, Chris, listing his wife on hooker sites. And I thought it would be good for you two to talk. Now, this was back when I was in the trading competition with Macro Hedge. If you guys remember Macro Hedge, they are since out of business after we did the trading competition with them. They did some pretty disturbing stuff, but behind the scenes, Pete was massaging this entire thing to keep me occupied, because Jigsaw is so nervous about our product that they wanted to make sure that, you know, I had been discredited, etc. And they were putting my wife on prostitute websites all the way back when I was in the competition with Macro Hedge. So this introduction to this is, there is a history here, even years past. This is what really gets to me, is that this has been going on literally for years. That competition, I believe, was 2019 it ended. I think it started in 2018 through 2019 in that whole saga of events. And it's just very disturbing for me to have to go back and rehash this type of stuff from them once again. But when they had put my wife on those things, they were just trying to get under my skin at the time. But here we go. There is the admission to these things. Whereas at the time, I actually thought that Macro Hedge had done it because Jigsaw had framed them. This is apparently their MO. This is where they think they're super clever by framing other individuals so that it doesn't look like it's them. We have caught them now red-handed, and hopefully the authorities can do something about this. And if you guys want to help us distribute this information, it would be helpful for you guys to get this over to the vendors that Jigsaw is engaged with, to make certain that they know who they are dealing with, in case I think some people probably want to know. So let's carry on from there. So this is the type of stuff that we're about to have to deal with. Here we go. Let's go to the next parts that are juicy. Here's Pete claiming, I am the innocent party in all this, like the Virgin Pete. So he's basically letting them know, hey, I want you two guys, to take the fall, because Pete wants to keep his pristine little image and his little, you know, snaky face scenarios, and keep glad handing with people, while simultaneously he's kind of like one of these, he's a wannabe mob boss guy, right? I don't even think he's cool enough to call him mob boss guy. But yeah, that's Pete here, already saying that he wants to try to stay out of it, to sort of keep his hands clean, if you will. So, Chris, I didn't share any of the stuff you showed me when you fucked with Vinny, but I did mention that the Mexican hacker Vinny paid wasn't very Mexican. So, history on this. This was a very disturbing event in my past. I'll show you guys a video here quickly. Okay, so one of the hacks that they had put on to me was to try to get me to turn my phone off so that they could copy the SIM card. Now, why would that matter? We've done some history on this. This guy, Cristiano, he's got a video over here where he teaches people how to use his software so that you can, he was in this interview here, where you can jailbreak your phones. And they, you know, again, bad dude also has access to be able to circumvent iCloud stuff and get into your iCloud images, which is what he did with Tom Dante. You guys need to be careful of these individuals. But so here's them trying to hack into my phone right now. That I recorded back in October of last year. I'll put this on high speed here real quick, and not going to do too much of this, but I want you to get the idea.
Stop it.
Okay. So they continuously did this for hours so that I would hopefully turn off my phone. Very disturbing stuff, continuous calling. Their whole idea is to get you to turn your phone off. Now, I'm aware of this type of hack, so I went ahead and just kept my phone on while they continued to dial and dial and dial. This whole video, if you guys want to go watch this, is on my YouTube channel. That I said, you know, some of the costs that exposing scammers. I thought at the time that it was ICT related because that's their whole thing. You guys are going to see them admit to the fact that they were trying to frame ICT. Again, ICT and I, you know, we have a history there, and it's, you know, not pretty, and ICT is by no means innocent, but at least of this, he is innocent. He was not the one who was hacking my phones and trying to do this stuff. This is them. Also, my kids all stuff everywhere and whatnot. But anyhow, continuously calling. I'm recording the whole scenario so that I could turn into the authorities all the events that were occurring. I do end up going over to my website. My website was simultaneously at the same time being DDoSed and getting harassed simultaneously by random accounts. Well, I won't say random. These are specific accounts from Cristiano Tabuyo, was the main guy, with his buddy Ricardo Polindo, that were executing this, that we come to find out through subpoenas and other ways that we were able to accommodate and get the information from these. At the time, yes, I thought it was ICT related, and turns out to be no. Now, those of you guys who are like, oh, you owe ICT an apology. Listen, ICT, I apologize that these individuals have come and attacked you, but I believe they owe you an apology, not necessarily me. But for better or worse, that is the scenario. So that turned out to be a person from Mexico, and this is what they're referring to here. And then they're laughing about how, haha, he swallowed all that. That was the best part. Again, this whole thing was that they got me to believe that it was ICT, which it was Pete's entire, you know, a very clever way to get us to not compare our product to Jigsaw, because Jigsaw knows that if you look at our product versus theirs, like, there's basically no, I mean, why would you go with Jigsaw at the end of the day? It's just absolute turd. So now that he's asking, how much did he end up paying you? Now, why would I have ended up paying them? I literally paid them to stop hacking me. I was talking to this, at the time he said that he was from Mexico, so this Mexican referred to as El Hacko, they call him El Hacko and refer to him as that, was Ricardo Polindo under the direction of Cristiano Tabuyo, which turns out to be actually the same person. So Ricardo Polindo is actually just a pseudonym of Cristiano Tabuyo. Now, I paid over, I think it was actually over $2,000 to get this individual to stop, in multiple transactions of sending me the information, and then everything that they were sending me was fake. The transaction IDs were faked, the PayPal IDs were faked. Of course, I had discovered that as we went through and got subpoena power, which is how we knew there was something else. So we kept digging, and we ended up finding these guys. Long story short, let's get into some of the quick dramas here of the highlight points of the most disgusting things that these individuals were doing. I need to get it off my chest. I need to have it out there in public so that if any of this stuff ever happens to anybody else, like, look, like, I know how I felt. I felt very isolated, very alone. I've never had this type of disgusting stuff happen to you. Wouldn't even think that this stuff can happen to you. But if anybody else has ever had anything like this, I feel for you. Let's carry in. So they had just been talking about how they had successfully gotten me to pay them to stop, and here they go talking about how it would be good for me to pay again. So here's what Pete said. LOL, you're laughing about me paying $2,000. So I am going to pay Josh some, and he might want to tap you on some other stuff like DDoSing, but if Vinny could also pay Josh, that would be a bonus. So again, this is their whole thing, to attack, maim. I mean, it's very disgusting how much plotting and planning and conspiracy these individuals have gone to. All right, so let's look at the next part. All right, so one of their main objectives was to put me on a Texas sex offender registry profile and to distribute it to people so that people would basically, I mean, just straight up defamation. Again, they can't compete So they're going to go down this route. Hey, Chris, just a few things when you're done. I don't know what country you're in or what time is it you are. Do you have any really good face shots of Vinny? Now, it's interesting. You guys keep saying, some of you trolls out there, like, Vinny, why don't you show your face? Why don't you go, why are you hiding yourself? Because these are the types of individuals that we have to deal with. And here is a perfect example of one of those that you don't want to have it out there for. Because what they will do is take a shot that they can, screen in and put it to make it look like it's a mug shot. And then they can put it on these websites, stuff like this. This is the type of thing that they will do. I just can't find a good one. Again, they can't find a good one of me. Again, I have successfully thwarted their opportunities to do this stuff because there are no straight on good images of me anywhere. I mean, there's a few, but they're very, I don't want to say very old, but they're pretty old. And, it's just, and I'm big and smiling and whatnot. And funny, they said down in one of the conversations down below as they had posted one of those, was that this doesn't look like a very good mugshot. It's got a big old smile and everything, doesn't quite fit the mugshot profile. So they can't find a good one. This was good. I want to Photoshop his wife getting gangbanged by Africans. Wow. Again, pics of her are needed. And again, I'll send you the finished product. Do you have some work of yours from the past of her that you did? So yes, they did. As an escort or something, because that's what they had talked about before. Looking to exchange works of art and journal ideas. If you have people who won't cross a line against or ideas against Vinny that are too harsh for you, let me know. There isn't a line I won't cross. I simply don't care. I'd love to get some DDoS info from you, the site, software, whatever you use. Okay, so they carry on with this conversation. In this section, he is going back and looking at my Texas A&M records in my yearbooks. Here they're still talking about not being able to find a screenshot from YouTube videos directly of me. Here they found some photos of my family and saying that these are F me, they are hideous people, and I used to live in Knoxville, home of the fattest 13-year-old ever. Let's carry on. Here is where Cristiano Tabuyo has pictures of my wife. This is what this is the guy that had done my stuff before. He's bragging about having especially of his wife. I do think it's interesting. There's a little omission right here where Jigsaw knows that Chris is a disgusting person. He refers to him as a vampire. Here they're bragging, should have seen Vinny lose his marbles yesterday because I harassed him everywhere on his religious holiday. That's a soft spot for him. Pete was definitely going to be thinking it was quite amusing of my harassment on my religious holidays. They go on and laugh about this. And here's C. Tabuyo talking about how his legacy and what he is so excited about having done was framing ICT. Here we go. That is my legacy of work, making him think it's ICT after him and providing him with fake evidence so that he destroys himself by making false accusations with fake evidence. This way, he shifted his attention from Peter, and now he's always focused on ICT while destroying himself. We could pretty much just end this whole, video right here. Pete needed me to get off of exposing him or comparing our product to his because he is such a turd and disgusting person. He doesn't want to just call up, hey, let's have a competition and see whose is better. Obviously, they know how that would end. So instead, they have resorted to this type of tactic. So he says, from Pete, says, Chris, feel free to show your previous work on ICT. Chris is definitely to blame for that, but you saw the Mexican hacker story, right, Josh? So again, further evidence, if anybody had any question whether or not this was faked and not me, because again, some people were saying that I had staged all this or whatever. This is them admitting to it right here. In this video, he posts a Telegram video of conversation between ICT and the Mexican hacker, but it's obviously fake. I faked it. Right there. So Cristiano Tabuyo, and at the behest of Peter Davies from Jigsaw, El Criso, Vinny knew he was Mexican because of his high IQ. Anyhow, they just go on and on about this stuff. I won't bore you with the details. Let's get into other parts. I thought this part was interesting, and when they were talking about ICT, they said ICT looks like he needs to go on a diet though. Josh, my wife is scared of being friends with Chris. I think that's very telling, but you know what? This is the type of person that Pete is. Apparently, we also have a lot of evidence of Pete's pedophilic activities and the things that he does when he goes on his drug benders. Very disturbing stuff. The person and the people that they hang out with. And apparently he does this off with Cristiano Tabuyo, that they go off and go and do things that you cannot do in a lot of places. I don't even think that they are legal in their own areas, but if you've got children, you need to keep them away from these individuals. This should be a PSA for all people. Keep your children away from these individuals. Again, if you guys want to go check out the police ID and the police cases that I have already released, you guys can go talk to them, because obviously I cannot distribute the information that we've received from these individuals. But you guys hopefully can get the idea. If you have questions, direct message me, but I'm not going to be showing you the stuff that they have sent over to me or that we have come across because of these individuals. Let's carry on. One more note to that, and at some point she said, then she met him and still scared. Okay, so anyhow, they had just heard of and then met him in person, and scary individuals, gross individuals. Here they are hatching their plots to go after my wife. So they are talking about Juanita. That's my wife's name. Juanita is Mexican though. Juanita Lee is Chinese though. So again, there's multiple names there with my wife, and they're confused as to what's there. I'm not going to say the rest of the names and things, but they are going out there talking about her and making attempts to go and harass my wife that they had talked about in conversations later. Yeah, such a person exists. It's an attempt of hiding their stuff. She must have skeletons to have 3 or 4 kids. She's probably on the sex offenders registry, and Vinny is her first victim. These guys are obsessed with projection. They are projecting what they have done onto me. These guys are pedophiles, and they have done absolutely disgusting and disturbing things. They brag about their exploits that they do with children over there in Thailand, and it's absolutely disgusting individuals. So what they are trying to do is project what they actually do onto me, and this whole continuing to go out after this sex offenders registry stuff and whatnot is absolutely just disgusting and disturbing, as you might imagine. Carry on. I thought this part was very telling when Pete literally has to say, by the way, are we still the good side here? Yes. Think about what he just said right there. Pete, you know what? You're watching this back later. You knew at this moment, even deep inside you, you know what you guys are doing is absolutely wretched and disgusting. Okay, at this point, they start going after my friends and family. Forget the family parts. Now they're going into my friends. Vinny's friend, John Manifold, which is, it's not their name, it's Manigold, but they're trying to make fun of them constantly. And his wife, Chelsea, is a soft target. Look at this stuff. So they can't even act like men. They're going to go off, oh, who's the soft target? Let's go after a female. Let's go after a wife of 6 kids. Now, yeah, they make fun of her for this, which I think is disgusting. I think it's amazing that people have families and can, reproduce themselves. Thank goodness these people aren't. Yeah, after giving birth to like 12 kids, I wonder if Chelsea and John are family, because it's, again, just disgusting, disturbing conversations that these individuals are having. And now this is all of their stalking them online. It's absolutely disgusting and disturbing. Here they are hatching the plans to call Chelsea's, well, basically send pornography to Chelsea's boss, the wife's boss, Vinny's or Chelsea's, and posing as hubby, informing them that their husband is stumping the wife. So basically also trying to cause havoc in other people's lives. Of course, here they are. The only downside of that is not having video of the whole thing. Sending photoshopped image of Vinny effing his wife in the ass. Dude, this is so disturbing to have to sit here. It's gross having to sit here and read this. Look at it. I can't say it out loud. It's gross. Photoshopped or not, such an image will be hard to forget. Yes, you know what's funny? You know what's not funny? Is that, yes, this is what they have done to me. Again, as I started this video, I'm sitting here having to think about the images that they have implanted in my head. They have done deep fakes of my children in pornography, sending this crap to me. These guys are disgusting. They should be put away for life, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about it. You guys put your comments down below. Am I being too harsh with this feeling and statement? I am so disturbed by this stuff, because again, yes, I have, and that's what they do. It's about psychological harassment. This is what they have done to myself and to members of my friends and family. It is wrong. Well, actually not to his wife, because she doesn't work. Juanita, she's probably illegal. Wow. So my wife is Mexican, and so they keep making these jokes about her being illegal and all this kind of stuff. These people are sick. They are racist. They are pedophiles. They need to be put away. Next. So here they go, hatching their plans with searching them out and finding out where they work and finding out their boss's name, making absolutely crude and disgusting comments about things I'm not even, it's just disturbing. Yeah, we need a pic of John effing Chelsea to send every single staff of that company. Good for measure. Another one of Vinny's effing Chelsea. I mean, these absolutely disgusting individuals. These are the things that they sit back here and hatch on. I can't even get over it. So parts of their conversation between just Pete and Chris were they hired Josh because Josh is willing to do things that they're not. They know that they could get in so much trouble that they don't want to be the ones to have to send it. They don't want the track and the trail to lead back to them when they started to send the pedophilia and things to me. So what they did was they were like, oh, let's have Josh do it. Now, ultimately, Josh didn't want to do it. And who does it? Ends up being Cristiano, ends up doing it anyways. But you'll notice, look at this conversation right here where they're like, let Josh do the sending of stuff. Okay, because again, these two guys have been buddies for a long time. These guys are pedo buddies in Thailand, and you know they get together and do gross stuff. I can't even. The imagery that goes into my mind that I have to deal with because of these individuals is so disturbing and upsetting. I can't even get over it. Here they are talking about Chelsea, my best friend's wife of 6 kids. Being the soft spot and that she's the weak spot. The Manifolds have weak spots more than Vinny. If we screw them over, eventually they'll take it out on Vinny. Look at their whole plan, right? This is the stuff. What software company should be trusted who does this? I mean, look, folks, if the authorities can't do something about this, look, I think the trading community should revolt. This is absolutely disgusting. These should never earn another dime again. I think there should be a massive one of those boycotts of sorts of all Jigsaw products and any vendor who wants to continue to do business with them. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you guys think? Is that gone too far? I don't know. I think a boycott is necessary for these type of individuals. Because everything for them is about the pocketbook. They are willing to do anything, go after people's families, friends, and whatnot for a dime, right? Disgusting. When he's actually a U.S. citizen with a job, then our associates are fair game too. Just look at this. Everybody's fair game. Like, well, they'll just go after anybody so that they can make a buck, right? To try to keep you. I don't know. I don't know what they wanted, with how they thought this was going to help them out, but whatever. From what he doesn't work because he's a millionaire. I suppose scamming people's lucrative business, or she's lazy. Fairness is pretty smart scam running. But bias SHI never get results. You complain to him. Always have an excuse. Why lose your money while he makes 5,000? I think yeah. Okay, so here they're trying to talk about. Oh shoot! I think I just paused the wrong part there. Hopefully this is coming through for us. Anyhow, basically, some of this stuff is kind of rudimentary and boring, but they're talking about how they're upset about some of the stuff that I have said. Me complaining again about Futures.io and how I've been handled unfairly over there at Futures.io, where I can't even speak on Futures.io and have any conversations. No positive information can be put on to Futures.io. They are completely protecting Jigsaw, and he's complaining about it right here and then saying, how dare Vinny call them out for what he's doing here. And then now he's sad and mad because, again, we found out that he's a pedophile, and he's mad that I said something about it. Well, that's pretty sad, buddy. Let's carry on and see some more of the other stuff. You guys can come back and read this. I'm going to post this for you guys down in the link below. You guys can go to it online on one of the, we're either going to put it on scammers.io, or if there's a temporary slot, I'll have it out there though after this video. Here's what they're saying, a death threat component, because one of the things that they wanted Josh to do was, again, he is notorious for telling people that he would crush their heads in with a baseball bat. Here is them saying this guy's mind needs to be on the outside of his head. So again, disturbing conversation around basically blowing your brains out. All right, there was speculation on Futures.io. Was Pete hanging out in alt accounts on the Futures.io? Is he allowed to have alt accounts? Well, here he is admitting to it. Absolutely. So he's posted here, again, not under his own ID, under some other fake names that he has on Futures.io to defame me. And he goes, oh, might have added something for Vinny to mull over. Yeah, he said some very disturbing things here on this website. We'll go back to that later. Okay, here's my thoughts. Vinny's on record saying Adam goes to Disney because he's a pedo. Vinny's partner John is a wife and organizes trips. It's called this Mickey Mouse, this silly stuff. Okay, so let's hop on over here to Futures.io and see. So here is one of his fake accounts. The upside down account here on Futures.io is one that he uses to mask himself and parade around in secrecy, and then be able to put out stuff like this. Again, this whole lengthy set of BS. Vinny does not have a legal team. Well, that's funny. I have 2 legal teams. So he's right. I don't have a legal team. I have 2 legal teams. You guys see this? Let me zoom in a little bit farther. Vinny has a $30,000 tax lien on his house. I've talked about this before. That was an old place. And yes, I had missed out on one of those 1099s that I needed to send in. And yes, that has already been taken care of. But yes, it is one of those records where they went out there to Intellius or whatever and found something from a long time ago that was on a house, you know, just, I guess, that's on my current house. That was so stupid. Vinny has a Discord room that's full of fake people. Wow. Okay, bro. Vinny cannot hide and he does not show results. I'm sorry, Vinny cannot trade, he does not show results. Really? This is the pot calling the kettle black. First of all, I do and have many times where I have a 1.5 year fully verified track record. Pete, where's yours, bro? Let's see what else. He's got Vinny is about to lose his wife and kids because of stuff that will soon come out about him. This is them and they're plotting about this whole thing about what Josh is going to be doing, putting this stuff on the sex registry thing. So here they are bragging about how I'm going to lose my wife and kids. So again, Pete, you know, he claims that he's a family man because he's got kids. Really? Okay, well, apparently it's just his kids, the only people that he cares about, right? No court case has been filed by Vinny despite Vinny's claims he does not have the money. Okay, there's literally a court case. In fact, you guys are going to see it in their own conversations. Like, oh, well, what's this court case he's got? Yeah, against State Trader Paradise. Yeah, that's happening. And we're coming after you guys too. What are you talking about? And they have been contacted by my legal team already. Now he might have posted this before he knew that. Vinny has a member compliance section on his site. And he tells people what to do to keep their license. What? How to keep your license? I don't know how that has anything to do with anything. We currently have an active customer of Vinny's that is going to be poking him to revoke the license, at which point the Texas Attorney General will be issuing an arrest warrant for consumer fraud. So again, trying to set me up with something. Who knows what this was attempting to do, but you know, this is their plot and their plan. I just want to put it right out there. Basically, he's screwed. As this unwinds, all the people Vinny has hurt are going to be extremely happy. Now, folks, who have I hurt? Who have I hurt? Have I hurt the scammers who we expose? Oh, so Pete's upset because we've exposed him. Are you hurt, buddy? I'm sorry. But the time has come. He has been contacted by his nemesis. Okay, so Pete is referring to himself as his nemesis. He has been told what will happen next. The CFTC have been contacted. We showed that in the last video. Pete put in a fake CFTC complaint about me. Couldn't even spell my name right. Couldn't spell my website right. Again, the guy does too much cocaine, I guess, and gets a little bit jittery. We do have full admissions of him talking about he was actually recently hospitalized. Again, he was actually kicked out. He was complaining about getting kicked out of his house by his wife because he was doing drugs in the house again. Again, look, if you got problems, get them taken care of, but you are not allowed to do this to people. But the real stuff is going to destroy Vinny in the same way he's been destroying others. Okay, carry on. Now, here he goes with more stuff. So if you guys want to go follow the history of the Upside Down account and all the stuff that they are going out there and putting on me, this is after they have gaslit me. They'll go and take a screenshot out of context with the scenarios. This is after I received death threats of my children and them talking about those disturbing things from Shane Fields. And they catch me in a rant in my room about stuff, and then they put it out of context to let everybody know, oh, look, this is what he does. Look at all the stuff sitting in my room and posting stuff like this. Absolutely disgusting. Anyhow, you guys can go check out that crazy history if you are bored to go over that. This is a section where they were talking about the live YouTube stream where someone had called and was talking about wringing my daughter's neck. These guys think that shit's funny. This part is interesting where they are talking about how they feel like because they're not in the United States that they are immune and can do basically whatever they want. Let's scroll this in here. So losing his marbles right, left, let's see, 2 things I can guarantee. Vinny ain't coming after me because he's a bitch, and the authorities aren't coming after me across the borders because they have better shit to worry about it. It's a free roll on Vinny. Do and say anything we want. CTBO, Chris is agreeing. Yes, not being in the US helps massively. So again, these individuals get to just free reign to whatever they want to people's families and things because when they can't compete with their software, they want to go after you personally. Comment of note here, haha, let's put our brains together and destroy him. Send me some pics of his wife or the stuff you did to her. I want to do some photoshops today. 1 sec, please. They start sending pictures of my wife with our baby. These people are disgusting individuals. They have no morals whatsoever. Zero moral compass. In my opinion, they need to be removed. All right, Chris is saying, I already went ahead and did a Photoshop for you. So Vinny had a good friend called John Manigold. John has a wife, so I Photoshopped of him effing his wife. His wife works at a travel agency, and this picture must be sent to every single staff at that travel agency. Look at this disgusting stuff. I'll send it to you on Manigolds and their 36 kids, haha, tards. So again, they start taking pictures of their kids, putting them into pornographic images, sending those to me to try to wreck with me and acting like they're going to send this out like I had created them. Here is Discord even blocked. So Discord blocking right here, they're showing that, you know, this is, they block pornography somehow. They have some kind of AI that can detect it. So they were unable to send it through. So they're like upset about it. I can't even show you guys what's inside of this zip file here, but let's just put it this way. It's not good. Put in a zip, pictures inside. Let me know if you can open it. Got it. Anyhow, my eyes. Anyway, basically, this is the type of stuff that these individuals are going into. They go on and continue to go on. More zip files pass back and forth of images of my family, my friends' families, their kids, their wives. There is no limit to these disgusting individuals. And if you had any, parts of, are they trying to make a psychological effect? Yes, that's their entire point right here. The psychological effect is still the same. They don't care if it doesn't matter. What they're trying to do is go for the psychological effect. Full admission right there when we take them into, well, I can't really take them into court anywhere, but the court of public opinion, if anybody is wondering what their whole point and purpose is, these are the individuals that you're talking about. All right, so they continue to work on this Texas sex offender profile of some sort. It looks so real. I do my work with the illusion of it's not if it's real. How many people are going to believe it? I can do this stuff forever. People can do it to me, and they have tried. I just tell them where they need to do better in a profile myself and send it back to them. I have no job, no wife, no kids, no nothing. What I do to care. So it's interesting about this too. Like these individuals. So the reason that Pete does this, Pete tries to stay clean of all this stuff. Okay, he's got kids, wife, family, whatnot. But Pete loves to prey upon individuals like Cristiano, who is, offense to the guy, but he's gross and disgusting and doesn't have any kids. Probably not. He's already claimed he's not going to have kids. Poor Josh. I think Josh is just in this situation. After talking to him, he's just is who he is. But it is. These are the people that Pete. I think that these guys are victims. Pete needs to find people that he calls his dogs, and he's like, he goes out there and sicks his dogs on you. Disgusting people. Here's Cristiano talking about the video where they make the death threats of wringing my daughter's neck and my kids and doing stuff to my wife. All in this video here. They're talking about it and laughing it up about it afterwards. Here's Cristiano admitting that he has the capability to DDoS and that he does. He's talking about how other websites are crappy that do it. He's saying that a lot of these websites that offer a service are more or less a scam. You need to put up money and more money to get any decent power, and many of them are law enforcement agencies in disguise, LOL. I do it myself with several VPS servers that I rent and many IP addresses. So, one of these, well, we've got some ideas around how we can handle some of this, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, hack forums used to have some. Once of those, most were scams. Did you ever go on raid forums? They just go on and talk about this conversation. It's boring. I don't profit from DDoS in any way as it's dangerous, LOL. I just use it to defend myself and my business because I'm in a complicated sector. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that in a whole nother video. All right, so the business that he's in, unlocking of phones. Yeah, he says the sector full of hackers is a good business. He said, yes, of course. Nice. Peter's got to get off the blow. That shit is brutal. So again, they've had lots of conversations that we saw back and forth about their drug habits. They were actually trying to see who had the best drug habit. Pretty gross and disturbing. I mean, I feel bad for them, but kind of don't at this point. All right, coming full swing back here is Pete coming back in the picture, and he says, so he's catching up in their conversation. He says, I don't think I've got a copy of that video. You still got it? Oh, my poor fucking eyes. I will never unsee that. Gangbang one. I quite like that one, though. I think you captured her good side. Pete, you are disgusting. Here they are going on, and Pete stalking my best friends on Facebook and things. It's interesting because there's a moment here where even Josh is like, why are you guys so obsessed with Manigold? It seems like a non-factor in all this. And Pete says, supposed to be Vinny's partner in this and seems an easier target. First of all, has no partnership whatsoever, has nothing to do with our business. It's just a family friend of ours, and this is why they're attacking them. Don't let me put you off of your stride. No, it's all good. I just don't see him as a partner. Again, he can put 2 and 2 together. Like, nobody thinks that he's actually a business partner with me. It just seems like he's an ass kisser at most. But yes, he actually he's one of my friends. Him and a guy called Curtis seem close. Curtis is his tech guy. Yeah, I mean, Curtis is part of my business. But running a Discord is hardly tech, blah, blah, blah. Oh, please. They have no idea. Yeah, I know who Curtis is. He's right here, man. It seems suggesting, yes, Vinny, yes, Vinny. Gross individuals. So Pete's in here asking Josh if he's joined my Discord. Of course, you know, Pete's always lurking in my Discord, watching everything that I say in there. He's saying, yeah, I'm in there creeping it. Yeah, he canceled the mentorship meeting yesterday. He's asleep now. So here's where, again, Pete waits until I'm asleep, and they've tried to come into our room many times. You guys have seen all of those. We've got we've built our own software that blocks all of these spam accounts that come in, where they try to use those to try to disturb the room or to post a whole bunch of pornography into a room so that they can report it to Discord. That's their whole plan and play, is to do this types of stuff. And we have thwarted most of it, but here he is, again, stalking me as to when I am asleep. Okay, and then they're like, okay, here we go, now we can go and do stuff while I'm asleep. Here they are. He's quoting me. This is back actually when our air conditioning did go out upstairs, and he's saying my air conditioning unit went out upstairs, the office gets way too hot. But basically him quoting me as to letting them know, hey, looks like Vinny's asleep, let's go. Gross. Okay, so here is Pete implicating himself, for he's asking about the mechanics of how to list someone on he misspelled it. This is a hooker. He's asking about a hooker site. Don't you need credit cards? So again, they want to put this on there so that people are calling my wife's phone to solicit her for hooker activities. As you might imagine, these people are disgusting. Here they are talking about trying to buy some of my domains to make it look like my domains have stuff on them. So here they go buying, they're trying to buy vinnyemini.net. They tried to buy vinnyemini.me, vinnyemini.live, vinny-emini to go out there and register my stuff so that they can send things to people and make it look like it came from me, post stuff out there to make it look like, you know, who knows what. They're actually trying to decide on things that they were going to put on these domains. I did come to see this quickly, and I went out and spent over $2,900 trying to buy up every different version of my website that's out there. And of course, multiples. Had to do all of the variations of Algobox Pro as well as Vinny Emini. These people are disgusting. Pete's idea is to have the SEO send stuff to their sites instead of to mine. They're trying to make it, you know, just to be a pain in the tail. If we use Cloudflare as a proxy, Vinny will very likely spend the $400 it costs to pay a lawyer to send a DMCA, then it's game over. Not if it's a Russian one. They can wipe their asses with Vinny's DMCA. So they're talking about putting it behind a Russian proxies. Again, just trying to make it so that it's difficult for us to, you know, stop any of the attacks that they're trying to do online. So here's where they get to NinjaTrader. So here was their idea. How about spamming NinjaTrader with complaints from supposed users from Vinny? So they're going to, you know, impersonate fake users and go over to NinjaTrader and try to report me to them and say who knows what. Are people disappointed to hear they support him? So again, basically just trying to, you know, harass the vendors, harass my brokers. This is what they do, but it sounds like a ton of work. So they go after it anyways in some of our further stuff. And you'll see that because NinjaTrader ended up contacting me about some of the stuff that is being sent over to them. Absolutely disgusting people. Okay, so here is some poor attempts at, again, this is why I have my image protected online. It's hard for them to capture a picture of me, but here they go, trying to put this out there. This is what they're going to send around as the sex offender website thing. Thank goodness anybody who knows me would be like, something suspicious about this image. What is it? I can't quite put my finger on it, but they were unable to because I don't have my image out there online. Again, I'm very protective of myself. And now what's interesting, back to that whole thing when they were saying from before, oh, Vinny doesn't have a court case going, and yet here they go. They have found the one where I'm going after John Matthew Cowart in Collin County because, yeah, that's what happens. I don't know why. These guys don't live in the real world. You do go after people if, you know, there is stuff that is being done illegally. Here's Pete mentioning once again that his immunity being in Thailand, that he can't recover anything if we went after him legally because he's got the protection of being in Thailand. Here's Pete. We're going to show this in a separate video. Or I might actually, no, I'll do it in this one. I'm going to go and show the drop files area where they were sharing. Pete has been collecting a lot of stuff on me for quite a period of time. You can see how desperate and how you know, how much this guy has been following me for a long time. Again, I don't care if you follow me. It's quite flattering, but again, them trying to use this stuff to use against me as usual, because again, Jigsaw software sucks so bad. This is what they have to do. Here they are trolling through, trying to find a face image of me. They said that their image needs to be better for putting together their sex offender profile thing. So they have, you're basically talking about going through all of the images in my, this one's not Facebook. Which one is this one? It's my Instagram. Going through Instagram and talking about my kids' pictures and all this stuff. And so they get the idea to start sending pictures of my kids to me in pornographic scenarios. It's disgusting. Here they are, Pete offering, saying, hey, maybe we can contact his ex-wife. Maybe she would have a picture. So they try to contact her on Twitter, and that's disgusting. So they end up coming up with this image of me, best one they could get. Again, this is when I was younger, so, and not long hair, yada, yada. So they talk about these things for a while. They're trying to find a good mugshot. Here they are, still surprised that I actually have a court case. They're asking, who is this John Matthew Cowart guy? There's another hooky vendor, I guess. Well, that's funny coming from Pete, who's the hookiest of them all. Carry on. In and amongst all the doom and gloom, this was a hilarious moment when Jigsaw, again, Pete has problems sleeping and things, so he's talking about, didn't the doctors give you something for this? And he said, well, it didn't work. It tastes like drinking bong water, as he is using some THC oil. I thought this was pretty funny. Talking about THC apparently tastes like drinking bong water to Pete here. So they've continued to do some research and looking up one of my legal teams and posting pictures of them, talking about that they're talking about the looks of my lawyers. It's hilarious. They're ones to talk. I mean, seriously. But carry on. I'm going to get into the no-fly list. Oh, yeah, so trying to put me on no-fly list in the States or minimum full TSA search and inspection every time he flies, and Child Protective Services will be visiting him. Again, this is a tactic they had done back with Macro Hedge on me. So here we go again, same old thing. They think this is impressive. They think they're, you know, great idea. Freaking just disturbing. All right, so we get down to this part. This is Pete giving the green light to go ahead and send off the images to the travel agencies company that my friend's wife works for, and send them to them and start to send it and all that. And here we go. Here is Chris saying we can do it. One of the things he wanted to make sure is when the domains are done, send the emails from there. But for now, can we at least put the Vinny Emini logos in the corner, because they want to send the message. They want to make it look like it's me. Here we go. And they're talking about that. They've got those. They share them out, and that's what they put onto the emails as they started to send them around. Again, apparently Jigsaw sucks so badly that this is what they have to do in order to compete. Well, Pete, you can't compete. End of story. Welcome aboard, everyone. What exactly is AlphaBox, and why do our traders absolutely love it? Michael Oates room. The verdict is guilty, as charged.